Hello world, boyfriend back in. What's going on? So, Nintendo Power. Only got one this time, and it is volume 51 with Street Fighter 2 Turbo on the cover. Just haven't been finding a lot of great deals for the Nintendo Powers, so that's why I only got one. There you go. This is yeah, I got a Sega RF Switch. To be continued on that one, but not in this video, so stay tuned. Super Nintendo controller. Got this for free because the R button is broken. It might work, but it's like sunk in. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's sunk in. It doesn't feel, but I mean, how many Super Nintendo games do you need the R button for? It'll be fine for all those other ones. Got a couple Game Boy cases. Like I said, I love getting these things. Yeah. Good to have. Good to have. I got one Game Boy game this time, and that is R-Type. I recently played R-Type in the arcade at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and this, I gotta say, as far as a Game Boy port goes, is pretty good. It stays very faithful to the game, considering you're porting it from the arcade to a Game Boy cartridge. A lot of slowdown though, which kind of diminishes the fun aspect of it. But nonetheless, I wanted to add it to my collection, and I did. And then I only got one Nintendo game, one NES game. Oh no, I take that back. I got two, but I've been playing the other one. Let's start with this one. I got Back to the Future. And the reason I got this was, I know it's kind of considered a terrible game, LJN, but I recently have been watching the LJN Defender, or Cygnus Destroyer, as some of you might know. If you haven't, I'll put a link to his channel right, boom, here. And he did a Back to the Future video, a couple of them actually, and I gotta say, it made me want to play the game. He made it look fun. He made it look like it wasn't such a terrible game. It's just more misunderstood than anything. And I gotta say, I picked it up, and I dig it. I dig it. I've been trying to beat it. I'm getting pretty good at it. I can get past the dance part where you're catching the musical notes as they're flying at you. I haven't been able to get to the car part at the end, the DeLorean part. Those final street levels are very hard. But anyway, I was inspired to get it because of the LJN Defender, so I wanted to give him a special shout out. So go check out his channel and pick up this game. Let me know what your thoughts are. And then the other NES game that I got, and I think this is a pretty good find. I found it for a good deal, and that is Donkey Kong Jr. Math. Now, I'm not really into getting rare NES games. That's not my bag. But I found this for a great price. I know it's one of the harder to get black box games. And I thought maybe I could use it as trade fodder or just kind of a neat little talking piece in my collection. Or maybe for GirlfriendVS. Who knows? Stay tuned, right? But I would say the main theme for today's pickup video is Super Nintendo games. As you know, Super Nintendo is kind of my big collection. I'm going for a complete set, loose cartridges, and I added quite a few this time. So, without further ado, let's get underway. I got a couple with manuals this time, the first of which is Foreman for Real, which is a boxing game starring George Foreman. Terrible game, but like I said, I didn't say. I found it with the instruction manual, and so I thought I'd pick it up. It was like $3, I think, so why not? And then the other one, this is kind of a cool one, one of those uncommon Super Nintendo games, and that is SOS Sink or Swim. I also found this with the manual, and this game, I can't get past the first level. It's kind of like a puzzle game in the vein of Lost Vikings, or I can't think of any other good examples at the time. but you're flipping switches and you're trying to rescue people on a sinking ship is the basic idea. And I saved all the people on the first screen, and I couldn't figure out how to get past that screen. I don't know what you're supposed to do. So I didn't try too hard to figure out what to do, but if a game isn't intuitive enough to get you past the first screen, I don't know if it's really worth playing. So this is one of those games I think is just going to be more for the collection rather than playing. But let me know, have you had the same problem? Has anyone even played this game before or heard of it? I would like to know in the comments below. So let me know. And then a bunch of loose carts. So the first of which is Samurai Showdown, a nice little fighting game from SNK. I'm not a big fighting game guy, but needed to check it off the old list. Arkanoid, Do It Again, and I was inspired to get this because Girlfriend played Arkanoid in the arcade on when we were at Portland, and yeah, it looked like a lot of fun, so I picked it up. And there's 99 levels. I was able to get to level, I want to say 55 or 56. It was a boss level I couldn't get past, but for my first playthrough, I thought that was pretty good. It's a lot like Breakthrough. You got a little paddle down at the bottom and you're bouncing a ball and breaking, and it's fun. Darius Twin, a little shoot 'em up, not the greatest, and that's all I have to say about that. And then Super Widget. This is kind of a platformer where you, I guess the idea is you're taking on these different characteristics, you know, like you get muscly or you're fast or whatever. I don't know. The controls weren't that great, so I didn't play it very long. That's all I have to say about that. And then I got The Wizard of Oz, which I guess I was kind of inspired to get this because of the AVGN episode. And unlike Back to the Future, this game is terrible, and I will probably never play it again. It lives up to its terrible reputation. Then Claymates, kind of an uncommon game, platformer, not that good. And that's all I have to say about that one. And then, now this one kind of caught me by surprise, On the Ball, and this is from Taito, which usually puts out some good stuff, not Darius Twin. No, I shouldn't bag on Darius Twin, it's okay, it's just not my favorite. But On the Ball, this is great. This is a nice little puzzle game where, remember those old toys you used to get as a kid where it was like a maze and there was a little ball, metal ball, and then you would kind of twist it, turn it to get it through the maze? That's kind of the idea behind that game. It's pretty fun. I don't know if I'm going to put a whole lot of time into it, but I thought it was a neat find. And not terrible like some of the other games I found. So then, the final two, I would say the creme de la creme of this pickup video. The first is a rare game. Not a rare game, but on the rarer end of the uncommon spectrum. And that is SWAT Cats. And it's a great label. This is a platformer from Hudson Soft. Not super fun. Controls are kind of weird, but I was very happy to find it. This is one of those games you just never run across in the wild. Except for me. I did once, and I got it. And then finally, to check another RPG off of my Super Nintendo RPG list, Lufia, the Fortress of Doom. Or Lufia and the Fortress of Doom. I'm not a big RPG guy, but oh, now speaking of Taito, another Taito release. But yeah, Lufia. I don't know. Should I play it? You tell me, interwebs. Should I play it? And that is all I got. That wasn't so bad. Was that so bad? No, I don't think so. Until next time, guys. Boyfriend.